let's have some accessible dream.
Come from some very fluent family, some big shot family, you know, you can buy anything you want to because you deal with so many super bikes, 2-3 villas,
Nothing of that
super
sort.
cars, super bikes.
So DV bought my DV. He's a famous Kannada vlogger.
Yeah.
He got my Daytona 675R.
Which was your first bike in that case then?
Yeah, I started off with Pulsar 150 first. I am born and brought up in Dubai. I lived there mostly.
Oh, yeah.
My parents used to say when I was 4-5 years old, I just used to see the logo and tell what car it is. R1 is something that was my dream back then. I wanted an R1 badly.
Everyone's dream right now, bro.
Yeah, a lot of us. I'm not somebody who rides only on track and all that. I do my weekend ride. Sometimes after the ride, I come back in the city also.
Come to your showroom and I took a test ride of Mojo.
Oh yes, you did.
Yeah,
you did. Yes.
Yeah.
It was very long ago. Mahindra was also the only manufacturer to have raced in the 250cc class of MotoGP.
Oh, I didn't know
Moto3.
this.
You didn't know this, right? We started off from there, 2 bikes. Now I think we have 40 plus bikes.
40 plus bikes. You don't even have a place to park now properly.
Yeah.
Hi guys, what's up? How's everything going on? So kind of confusing, right? Where's Farhan? So yeah, welcome to Farhan's channel, and I am giving the introduction because I will be on his channel asking him some questions related to used super bikes. How should we go ahead? How should we buy? What are the questions? What are the comments? Whenever we give the stock videos, I guess, no bro, most of the questions come on when we release out the stock videos for the NFS Motors.
Yep.
So how should we get the bike? Can we trust? A lot of people come up with a lot of questions. So we're gonna cover up that. But before that, I think we should start up with the journey. How you actually started up? How was this? How did NFS Motors come into picture? So we'll start up with that first, and there will surely be a second part of it, which we will cover up with a lot of some interesting questions. Hi bro.
Hi bro, what's up?
What's
How
up
are you?
bro? Good bro. How are you?
Good, thanks.
How is sales and all going on?
Yeah, going good.
So I thought of just having a small video, a proper, what do you call it, as one-stop solution kind of a video to all the inquiries, to all those boys and girls who want to buy super bikes but cannot afford from the showroom. But you have given, or many of the dealers have given the space where we can go ahead and fulfill our dreams. All the boys and girls who want to, you know, have that super bike dream kind of achieved. So thanks to you, you are doing it. But a lot of people doubt on this. We get a lot of questions on our videos, your videos, I'm sure.
Right.
So we're gonna answer that and see how it goes on, and it should be helpful to our viewers as well. Before we start, I would like to know your journey, bro. I mean, how you started, how this all started, how bikes thing came into your journey. I know how it came into my life, but how it came into your life, bro.
Yeah. So I've been a motorhead since childhood.
Yeah.
You know, they say born riders or something.
Yeah.
So I am born and brought up in Dubai. I lived there mostly.
Oh, yeah.
Even when I was very little, like my parents used to say when I was 4-5 years old, I just used to see the logo and tell what car it is.
Oh.
I mean, that's how crazy I was from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I've lived in a country where there were a lot of fancy cars, so that's something I fantasize so much. Bikes were not so much. There in Dubai, it was more like in winters people take out bikes. So it was once in a while, it was good to see that. Then I moved to Bangalore for my studies. I did BCom here in Bangalore. While I was studying, I wanted a big bike. R1 is something that was my dream back then. I wanted an R1 badly.
Everyone's dream right now, bro.
Yeah. A lot of us grew up, you know, seeing R1. Wallpapers, posters. In those notebooks and all, there was R1. So, yeah, that's something I always loved and I wanted to have. But at that time, I troubled my father like anything. I want that bike. Then I realized it's going to be too expensive in India.
Right.
And here with the import duties and all, I didn't know how expensive it would have been here. There I used to see in Dubai, it was much cheaper. Here it was very expensive. Then I realized, no, okay, I should stop bothering my parents too much. Let's have some accessible dream, you know, a little bit lesser capacity to start off with.
Right.
So Ninja 250 is something I had in mind. Again, I troubled my father like anything for that. I did not get that too.
Right.
And but I wanted to be around that motorcycle. So right after my BCom, I started working with Kivraj Motors, Bajaj Pro Biking back then it was, and then it was KTM store. KTM store had the Ninja motorcycles also
Right, that
at
time,
that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yes. So my exam was on a Saturday. Sunday there was one leave.
This was in which year?
This is in 2012.
2012. Huh?
Yeah. So I was just finishing off my last exam in BCom. Saturday was a holiday. Sorry, Sunday was a holiday. Monday I started working with Kivraj Motors. I'd given the interview and all while I was doing my exams. I mean,
Nice.
That's how crazy I was. I wanted to be around that motorcycle. Karke I went.
Nice.
And I started off as a sales executive there. And that's the place where I learned so much about motorcycles, learned so much from my seniors, learned how to deal with customers, how to deal with the colleagues. There are, a lot more elder people than me who are working with me. And sometimes, there'll be little bit conflicts, how to deal with that, how to deal with politics. So much I learned over there. So, I'm glad I started my journey from there, and that's where I met so many people. I've sold around 1,000 plus, thousands of KTMs I've sold, and Ninja 250, 300s, Ninja 650s, and then even the Kawasaki big bikes was there next door.
Which was your first bike in that case then?
Yeah, I started off with Pulsar 150 first.
Right.
Okay, my dad said before I could get something that I like, I should start off with something. So Pulsar 150 is one I started off with. I thrashed that motorcycle like anything, put an exhaust on it and whatnot. I didn't know so much knowledge about. Nowadays we have this full system exhaust, we have the tunes and all that. That time I didn't know anything. I just got an exhaust, Pulsar 150, got it, thrashed it for 6 months, sold it. Then I got the Yamaha R15. R15 was my next bike. So I could not get that dream bike, Ninja 250 at that time. R15 is something I'd ridden, okay, it at least has that sporty feel. Okay.
That was a version 1 that time?
It was a version 1. That time it was a version 1.
Right.
So I got that, and it was a nice fun bike. It's a 150cc, but it could do very good speeds, and it was brilliant in terms of handling.
Obviously,
It had that thin tire. But then at that time it was explained to us, for a 150cc, this is
how
the tire
it has to,
it should be. I didn't know all that at that time. Now then later we learned with time, okay, for a 150cc you can't put a fat tire. It will affect the performance. It will reduce the fuel efficiency. So many such things. So R15, my dad gifted me the R15. And I had that for about a year or so, and then I wanted my next bike already. Since I was working with KTM, I got a KTM Duke 200 in a very good deal.
Nice.
There was a British gentleman who was selling his Duke 200 because he was moving out again. I got that for 1 lakh rupees. At that time it was a very good deal for a 1,000 kilometers run bike. 1,000 kilometers run. That time the on-road price was I think 1.5, 1.6 something.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Right.
So this bike I was getting it for 1 lakh. So I sold the R15, and whatever I wanted to buy next, my dad gave me a warning. Whatever you buy next, you have to buy in your own money. So I sold the R15. Whatever money on top, I put for the Duke 200. I didn't even tell my parents. I just took it home and I said I got this bike. Like, what is this? You got the bike already. I mean, you didn't even tell us. I said, you tell whatever you buy next, you buy in your own money. So I bought it. That's how it was, like a surprise, instead of me telling them and then they're stopping me from getting the motorcycle and all. I thought it's best to just do this. So
perfect planning.
Then the next bike was the RC390. So RC390 in 2014, it was just launched, and I was in that KTM sales team.
Employee discount, huh?
No employee discount and all, man. Maybe I got some small accessories.
Yeah.
That's about it. There's no discount and all. Margins are very little anyways.
Right.
So they can't give out too much discounts. I understood that. But at least I got the first RC390 of Bangalore.
Oh.
Yeah. So there was one showroom that time, Indranagar, Kivraj KTM.
Right.
I sold the first bike to myself.
Oh, this Makery Circle wala thing was not there.
No. They were not there at that time.
Oh, I see.
So at that time, for the KTM, the bookings were so crazy. People had to stand in a line midnight, 12 a.m. People before that, they're standing in a queue.
Yeah, I remember KTM.
There were token systems given to people for booking the motorcycle.
KTM's had this craze at that point of time.
Yes. We had to give like tokens to people, and they would be standing in queue, and it will be on the priority basis. You will get the motorcycle. First come, first serve.
Wow.
I was already sitting inside the showroom. First token is to me, the rest to everybody else. So yeah, luckily I got to experience the RC390. That was my first motorcycle, RC390 of Bangalore. I enjoyed that a lot. I did some track days on it.
Right.
This was all back in 2012 to 14, I'm saying.
It is a track weapon actually.
It's a proper track weapon. Even now, it's a brilliant motorcycle. I mean, so many bikes are coming, but the KTM still have that legacy. Absolutely. It's a very wrong thing. People, call it. It's a very aggressive motorcycle. It's chapri and all. The bike was very good. Even at that time, it was so affordable and so accessible. So everybody could afford it. Unfortunately, because of this, it became like this. But the bike, even then, was brilliant.
For me, for KTM is like, it's not about the bike, bro.
Yeah.
Bike is absolutely good.
Yeah.
People who ride it, they are supposed to be called as chapris. The tagline is not for the motorcycle actually.
So I think that's why now the prices are high. They want to keep it a bit of a premium. But yeah, KTM is so good. I mean, even in MotoGP, they have evolved so much, and they're doing so well in MotoGP, and they're coming up with motorcycles and stuff.
Right.
A lot of big bikes have also come to India now, which is a very good sign.
Right.
So, moving on from the RC390, now I wanted a 650cc, 600cc motorcycle. Now there are a lot of other bikes which I could not afford at that time. Again, what is the most affordable bike I could get at that time? 2 lakh budget. I was getting a higher.
Middle class, bro?
I'm middle class, bro.
Lot of people have this thing about you, bro. I don't know. I'll ask this question.
Yeah, sure.
Lot of the people have this kind of perception about you. They think like, you come from some very fluent family, some big shot family, you can buy anything you want to because you deal with so many super bikes, 2-3 villas,
nothing of that
super
sort.
Cars, super bikes.
Nothing.
How is it, Farhan?
I am a very simple middle class family. God's grace, alhamdulillah. My dad has been very supportive that way. Yes.
Right.
He was there in Dubai. He's also worked very hard. 3 decades he's worked there as an accounts manager. And he was very supportive with my motorcycle passion. I mean, any parent is reluctant, because they feel that their son is going to be unsafe on the motorcycle.
Right.
But then after a point, they realized, no, this guy will do this only. There's no point.
Yeah, there's no point.
There's no point.
Same thing with me, bro.
Yeah. So, yeah, bro, one thing is my dad has been supportive to me, but it's not like we have a lot of money lying around and all. It's not that, bro.
Right.
It's just about priorities. For some people, something else is a priority. For me, motorcycles was so much. I mean, we have a car at home. For an example, I don't have a car of my own. There is a car at home. We have a car at home, which me and my dad got together. But then motorcycles is so much to me. I've invested so much on motorcycles, but then
Your first 600 bike
was the Hyosung GT650N because at that time I could only afford something in the 2 lakh price bracket.
Right.
That was the most fun bike. It was a V-twin, so it was very torquey. It was very fun.
Yes.
It had its niggles, but then this was a fun motorcycle. At that time I could only afford that much, so I got that. The next motorcycle was the Benelli 600i because that was the most affordable inline 4-cylinder. I needed something that sounds nice. And at that point, I mean, there were so many other motorcycles too, but I could only afford that much. So, Benelli 600 was next. It was a 2017 model. It was a non-ABS. It was a 2016 model at that time. It was a non-ABS.
Non-ABS.
Yeah, non-ABS. I couldn't even afford the ABS variant at that time. ABS variant.
Yeah, there were 2 variants at that time.
Yes. So whatever I got, it was a good clean bike. I got that. Then I got the IXIL exhaust and all on it. It sounded very good. I got the stock motorcycle, if I'm not wrong, and then I put the IXIL exhaust.
Was this from the showroom or used?
No, used, bro. Second hand. I could not afford a brand new bike. No.
Right.
Second hand motorcycle, bro.
Right.
So I got it for what at that time some 4 lakhs or something.
Nice.
That's what it was.
Then from there, a proper superbike journey started. From the mid segment. To the thousands.
I got the Street 67675 next. That was that one was nimble. It had the torque, it had the punch, triple cylinder. Fun factor was there, and it was so nimble. I could play around with it anywhere.
Absolutely.
Then from there, the Daytona 675R That is one of the best track bikes even today.
Even today. But
yes.
they unfortunately stopped the production, bro.
Yeah, now it's the Daytona 660.
660.
It's not the real Daytona in my opinion.
Even I don't think
I mean,
so.
they should have named it something else, not the Daytona, because Daytona is known for its legacy for being a track weapon. Now it's more of a sport tourer, which is more for a mass market sort of a product. So
how many people of you think they're coming down? You think the Triumph Daytona 675R and the Daytona 660 are they same? Just let us know.
from there, R1, my childhood
finally.
dream. Yeah, so DV, he's a famous Kannada vlogger.
Yeah.
He got my Daytona 675R and I got an R1 cross plane at that time.
Right.
So it was my dream motorcycle. Again, it was a very raw motorcycle. There was no ABS, there was no traction control, but it was the cross plane 2011 model.
Right.
Very raw, very mental motorcycle. I mean, it was a good bike to ride, very fun. I enjoyed that a lot. The way it got to those 290s was mad. I mean, with no electronics, nothing. But yeah, that was one motorcycle. If I have to tell you, when I sold that, I cried. The buyer also was in front of me.
That is dream, right? That was a dream motorcycle.
That was a childhood dream. That's something I wanted for a very long time, and then I got it, and then I was selling it. But then the reason I sold that is I wanted something with ABS at least, because there was a lot of heart in my mouth sort of a moments with no ABS. I mean, I had upgraded to very good tires. I had the Metzeler M7s on it. I had the EBC brake pads on it. Braking was good. Tires were good. But still there would be moments, panic situations with somebody just comes in front. So yeah, I realized I had to get a bike with ABS. And that is the same time, by the way, when DV met with an accident on his GSXR 1000. Yes. So he also, used to talk about.
You were from the same gang? You used to
we
ride
used
with
to
them?
ride together. I mean, I'm not from the same gang, but DV was my friend. We used to ride together. So since he got the Daytona from me first, we started riding together.
Correct.
And then when he got the GSXR, I was not part of that ride. But when I heard he crashed, he used to also talk about, how ABS is not so important and stuff. That time, he also thought that way. But eventually, with time, with experiences, when people learn. He had never had an accident before. He used to tell me this. He's never had any accident. So that's why he did not, when that happened, it humbles anybody down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So see, it humbled him also down, and then I think after that he stopped doing those very crazy high speeds. Once in a while he does it, but not pushing all the way every time. He's riding a bit more.
He's calmed down now.
Yeah, he's calmed down.
In a very good way, not in a bad way. In a very good way.
In a very good way.
Matured, very matured rider now.
Yep. That day I decided I need something with ABS. When he crashed. So then I got the Gen 1 S1000RR. I got a very nice bike, 6,000 kilometers run, 2011 S1000RR. Got that, got a full system exhaust on it. Twice I got an Accra Shorty, then I got again a full system long can, then used it for a while. Everything, the major service I did it, valve clearance and all, I got it done by my friend Rakshit. He did a very good job on the bike that time. After that I sold the bike. Next was the RSV4. I had the RSV4 for some time, 1000cc.
The older RSV4.
Older 2019 RSV4 RR. And then I got the RSV4 1100 factory.
Was this the same time where you and TV had an option of taking a look at the Tuono?
Tuono was before I got the previous 1000cc RSV4, 2019 RSV4. So me and DV were looking at the bike. At that time my S1000RR was still not sold. So I was not in a proper position to buy the bike upfront. DV had the funds. He went, he picked up. I mean, we had that discussion. And then he wanted it, so he went ahead and bought it. Although he told me whenever he wants to sell the bike, he'll let me know. But then I could not wait for that long. Few days later, my S1000RR got sold, and then I picked up the 2019 RSV4 1000 RR. Had good fun on that bike too. I enjoyed the V4 character so much. I mean, after the crossplane, I moved to an S1000RR. Which is a very good motorcycle and but it's a lot more civilized. R1 was mental, how it delivered its torque. RS V4 had that similar character.
It scares
It's a
you on your
V4.
face.
Yes. So
That's the thing.
that's what I liked. And then again, next I wanted an RS V4 itself. I was contemplating between the Panigale V4 and the RS V4. But Panigale V4 is a lovely motorcycle. It's still one of the best track machines right now out there. But the heat was
Heat
too
management,
much. No,
yeah.
I am not somebody who rides only on track and all that. I do my weekend rides. Sometimes after the ride, I come back in the city also. So there I could not bear that heat.
Yeah.
I have had a chance to ride that bike. I could not bear the heat. And then I got the brand new RSV4 1100 factory from the showroom. This was my first super bike which I bought
From the
showroom.
So how did NFS Motors actually start, bro? Which year?
Yeah, we started in 2017. So before NFS Motors started, I worked with KTM, as I said, KTM. Then I worked with BMW for some time, for a very short span. Okay, and then I was working for a different dealer, which was an authorized dealer for Mahindra Mojo.
Okay.
So I started working there as a relationship manager for the Mojo. So they were selling other two-wheelers too, the Mahindra Gusto, Centuro, the small vehicles. Alongside that, they were selling the Mojos. So I was responsible for selling the Mojo. And then when after that, my dad was in Dubai. He was planning to come down here. He also said, let's do something of our own, we'll start something. We had a lot of things in mind, bro. Maybe we thought we'll open a restaurant also. We thought we'll open a car detailing shop. We even thought of, an accessory store, full-fledged accessory store. A lot of ideas were there in mind. And when I told the Mahindra two-wheeler folks that I'm about to quit my job, they themselves said that, why don't you anyways going to invest on something, why don't you look at the exclusive Mojo dealership concept. So exclusive Mojo won't have the smaller two-wheelers. The Gusto, Centuro would not be
Only
there.
the Mojo lineups.
Only the Mojo. There was one Mojo at that time. Later more variants of Mojo came, but when that time it was just one Mojo, which is having the dual exhaust, upside down forks and all that. So I already had the customer base. We were the first ever exclusive Mojo dealership in India.
I was about to ask you that.
After our setup came, everybody, some other dealers across the country got that exclusive Mojo dealer. So in 2017 we started this.
At that point only, I think we both met. I had come to your showroom and I took a test ride of Mojo.
Oh yes, you did. You did. Yes.
Yeah.
It was very long ago.
Very long ago.
Yes. Mojo is a brilliant motorcycle. I mean, it's a very good touring motorcycle. It's still so robust. The engine is so smooth. It sounds so beautiful. Looks is something subjective. Some people loved it. Some people did not like the front headlamp design. But eventually that became the identity of the Mojo. And that's what Mojo stood for. Very underrated motorcycle. Mahindra did not market it enough. They didn't give it the attention that it deserved, basically.
Mahindras didn't do that.
They did not, unfortunately.
No advertisements.
The guys who were working in the two-wheeler division, a lot of them were so passionate. The territory manager, the state heads, everybody were very passionate. But then, because of lack of marketing and maybe, I don't know, some wrong decisions in Mahindra, whatever they did, Mojo, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Mahindra was also the only manufacturer to have raced in the 250cc class of MotoGP.
I didn't know this.
Moto3, you didn't know this, right? So Moto3 is the 250cc class of MotoGP. Anybody who comes to the MotoGP, they have to start off with the Moto3. Young riders, 16, 17, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, all these guys are racing there in Moto3. In 250cc class, Mahindra's bike was there. So after Moto3 comes Moto2 and then the MotoGP. All the riders have to upgrade themselves and then come to GP. They don't directly go to the 1000cc category.
Right.
So Mahindra was the only Indian manufacturer to have raced there. Bajaj, so many big names. They have not, invested so much on motorsports. They have
Mahindra did that.
Mahindra did that. So unfortunately, a lot of people did not even know about this.
Yeah, even I didn't know.
We are a market with so many, the highest level of two-wheelers, highest number of two-wheelers in our market, that people don't even know that our bike was, Indian brand was racing there in 250cc class. So by 2022 itself, we had this in mind. It was hinted to us that the Mojo's production is going to stop. They were fighting till the end. We all fought till the end to keep the Mojo alive. When we got that hint, we thought, okay, we should look at some other options. We got some suggestions. So slowly, one of my couple of friends started parking 1 or 2 superbikes in my showroom. Let's see how this sells.
Oh, so the park and sale thing started
in
2023.
22.
22. Okay.
22 it started. So 1 or 2 bikes we started off with. One multi-strata was there, another some bike was there. There I started. We started selling bikes. Then I told my dad, okay, we'll have to start, investing on big bikes.
Right.
So we started again. My dad and me, we invested first time on a Ninja 650 and a Daytona 675R. 2 bikes we started off investment. Okay. So I sold both the bikes within a week. That's when
the confidence
boosted for me. I mean, I was already confident. I knew the market, had studied the market, and I knew what the demand was.
And you had a little bit of contacts.
My dad was always skeptical. Anytime anybody is putting in money for the first time, that risk factor will be there, that thing will be there, will it sell? From there it started, and then my dad was confident, okay. The first time that we invested, he was like, will these bikes sell? I mean, such high value bikes will sell. It will sell, you do it and see. Then,
which was that bike, bro?
Ninja 650 and Daytona 675R.
This were your invested motorcycle?
First ever.
Oh.
Yes. Until that, it was just, a couple of friends parking 1 or 2 bikes that parked and I sold them. That's about it. Mojo's also used bikes I've been doing for some time.
Yeah. Even now I can.
Yeah. That is still happening. And that time, the big bikes, it was, I think, back in 2022, end of 22 or so, we started with these bikes. After that, whatever I tell, Dad did not question me. Like, I want this bike. He also put in money, I put in my money. And from then we grew. We started off from there, 2 bikes. Now I think we have 40 plus bikes.
40 plus bikes. You don't even have a place to park now properly.
Yeah.
You use the service station as well to park the motorcycle.
Most of the bikes are here, some bikes are parked outside, and when we are closing the shop, of course, everything is put inside the service station. Yes.
Absolutely. What do you say?
Yeah.
What do you call your journey? If you want to put it in one word.
I mean, it's passion, bro. Mostly passion and
right?
some experience that I had.
I had that same word in my mind.
Yeah.
You got it all.
People think, okay, is this guy an automobile engineer or what? No, bro. I'm from commerce background. I studied BCom.
Right.
And then I did PGDM simultaneously. While I was working in the KTM and BMW, I went to classes in the evening. I did my PGDM in St. Joseph's.
Oh.
Yep.
So this was the whole journey for NAFS Motors.
Yes.
Till date.
Yes.
Cool.
So it's for us, it was not more about business. If it was just a business mindset that we had, we would have looked at something else, to be very honest, because you see the kind of inventory that we hold now.
Right.
A lot of bikes are invested. Some of them are park and sell.
Right.
Sometimes customers also come park the bikes and they'll help us sell. That's the trust we have built over a period of time. So people come and drop the vehicles. Most of the bikes, in fact, are invested. It is more of passion than business. I mean, for me, I am a motorcyclist by heart. It's my passion. And I want to change that stereotype. Unfortunately, a lot of people have this in their mindset that, used superbike dealers are, they cheat, they do this, they do that. You don't know how is the documentation.
So, the purpose of me asking you this question was to let the viewers know, have a clarity of a person who is there in NFS Motors. From where is he coming from? It's all pure passion now. So whatever you have heard right now is nothing but passion. All this is not scripted, boss. So there are people who will even comment, this is scripted, you might have made a script and you're having a conversation.
A lot of people are not able to even digest that I've grown so quickly.
Exactly.
So I have a lot of people talking behind me. That happens. That happens
That's
with
everywhere.
success. That's everywhere. That's
That's
okay. Unfortunately, it is there in this business. It is like that. because of what a few people would have done in the past. People have that mindset, we don't know if the bike is good, we don't know if the bike is abused or whatnot. So I want to change that stereotype.
I somewhere sort of feel like you're going to be the pioneer in
Hopefully,
breaking this stereotype of, why not to buy used super bikes.
Yeah.
Lot of people, they have this thing only, chachirtare, tanbuto park madirtare. It's like, they'll abuse the motorcycle and those motorcycles are parked here.
Yeah.
And they want to sell it. Once they are done abusing, with their toys, they get it and they sell it for a good price. And you earn profit out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like that, right?
It's not like that. It's not like that.
This first part of conversation was to introduce you to what Farhan is, what NFS Motors is, so that you don't have a second thought or a doubt whom you're going to deal with when you are buying yourself a used super bike. There are a lot of questions coming in. We'll catch you in the second part.